Hi there, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. This is Lily from Je t'aime me neither, and welcome to my apartment. As you know, we are under confinement in Paris right now. We have been under confinement strictly since last Tuesday, and that means that we're only to go out when it's absolutely necessary, including we can go on short walks, which I know some of you have been joining me for that. But since the lockdown measures are kind of going wide across the globe. And of course, since a lot of people can't make it to Paris in the next while, and of course, we don't know exactly how long that is going to take either, I'm going to be starting a fun new project. We'll just wait for a few more minutes until we have a couple more people joining us. This will be visible later too, but I've come up with a fun idea that will involve you as well in order to connect you with Paris in a different way, because there is a lot of great content happening right now and a lot of great engagement and trying to do something a little bit different. And so I hope that you have fun with it too. I also thought I would start by telling you a little bit more about myself, which is why this project will make sense. I know a lot of you have been following my Facebook page and perhaps go over and look at my website now and then. But I've been living in Paris for almost 20 years now. I did part of my studies in Paris and fell in love with the city and moved back. And I've been in this very apartment for a long time. In addition to the work you've seen on my website, I have published two books, and Je t'aime me neither and Je t'aime maybe. These are funny, lively books on the trials and tribulations of looking for romance in Paris. So I'm just telling you that because a little prep to this project that I had, because at the kind of origins of starting my blog was in relation to my first books. So in addition to the books, I'm a travel writer. I write for different publications on travel, mostly in France and in Paris, but also around the world. And so, thank you for your interest, and it's great to have you all following. I just want you to know, and I'll remind this later. So there is, if you look down next to the live video screen, you'll see that there's a chat there where you can leave comments. So if you'd like to tell me that you're here, you can by all means go and put your name down there. And that comment box is actually going to be all the more important for this project. And so I'll tell you more about that shortly. A little bit more about this project. I've come up with an interesting name for this project, and it actually is a quote by Vincent van Gogh, and it's a partial clip of that quote, and the quote is the following. So, there is but one Paris, and however hard living may be here, and if it became worse and even harder, the French air clears up the brain and does good. A world of good. And so the aim of this project is to bring Paris to you, to have you live through Paris in a different way. And so what I would like to do in this project is to get you involved, and that's the key to this. What I would like to do is every week I'm going to come on here on Sundays, if Sunday works out, and kind of request a few things from the listeners, from anyone watching, and then also on my Facebook page. And so the idea is that I would like you to tell me your favorite places in Paris. And so those places could be a site like the Eiffel Tower or Notre Dame or the Marais, the Latin Quarter, Montmartre. It could be a certain street, it could be a shop, it could be a restaurant. So I will be soliciting little recommendations from you and using those to create a story. And so this will be short fiction stories based on the information you give me. So I'll also reach out on Facebook so you can see it there too. And so I'm not sure if you remember when you were a kid or like a teenager, there were those, make your own adventure or choose your own adventure stories. And so, in a way, it's going to be a little bit like that. So, if you could just tell me which places in Paris you're missing the most, what your favorite moment is, even some adjectives that you use to describe Paris, and even some favorite French actors or favorite French food, things like that. All of those little things that everyone recommends each time will show up in the story in some way or another. If you'd like to recommend a character's name, it could be your name, it could be a friend's name, it could be a book you read that was interesting, it could be a French star, things like that will also be incorporated. So what I'll do is I'll also create a bit of a list and I'll put it on the side of things that you can contribute, and I'll post it on my Facebook page too. And so, like I said, the idea is that you can get involved in this story, and so I would like to start with a place that everybody knows very well. I'm going to suggest that the first story will involve the Eiffel Tower in some way. And so, what I will do is I will mention that, but I'll also bring it up to the other followers on our Facebook page so that they can get involved. And so, from there on, we will be choosing the destination based on your recommendations. And so, yes, the idea is that this will be a fun way to make Paris live when it is currently on hold. And so I hope that you enjoy this, and it's just a way that you will be able to dream about Paris in a unique way. So I will put up the stories after the week is over, and then I will read them out in the next episode. And then I will also be putting those on my website. And so we could come up with a very nice collection of stories. And if anyone is inspired to write some stories themselves, then that is more than welcome. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to drop me a line. But thank you for tuning in. And hopefully, we will have a lot of creative inspiration regarding Paris in the coming weeks, even though some of you can unfortunately not be here right now. So, thanks again for tuning in again. I really appreciate that. And I will be calling out for some recommendations from you in the next 24 hours, and then we can get started. So, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I hope to see you back here again next week.